Hi guys, I would like to do another real talk video today, and this is one where I'm going to really open up about myself and my own experiences. So if any of you guys can relate along the way, please like, comment the video. I would really appreciate that. It's good to know that you're not alone sometimes. So I really wanted to open up today about my own experience with depression, and not how I got there, not how I'm coping with it, but what it actually feels like to go through it, because everyone has their own experience with it. Everyone will have symptoms and feelings that present themselves in different ways. So I wanted to express what it was like for me. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So one big thing for me were huge changes in appetite. One day I could be starving, but of course when you're starving, it's not actually for food, it's for love, or it's for support, or it's for some emotional reason that you cannot ever fill with food. That void will always be there unless you learn how to treat it properly. And other days I was so low I didn't want to eat anything. So I would have horrible days where I'm binging. I'd have other days where I was barely eating. So it was a little bit tough. And I made a video about emotional eating and drinking, so I'll link that down below for you guys to check out if you haven't already. So that was one big thing. Another huge thing that actually affected my daily life, because I had to change around my school schedule, I had to switch around my plans, decide like when I was going to do certain things, because my sleep schedule got so messed up. And I hear what is a healthy sleep pattern is to sleep between 7 to, let's say, maximum 9 hours a night. But I was sleeping for more than that. And so, like, a lot more. So some days it would be like I go to sleep at like 12 or 1 o'clock at night, which I don't think is too bad, but I was usually wired until then. But then I would be waking up at around 11 in the morning. And that really affected me, because when I woke up, I would be frustrated with myself. I'd be like, oh, I can't believe I slept in again. What a waste of a day. And I'd be taking it out on myself. So when you start like that, you're not going to feel good. So I was being very hard on myself because of my sleeping patterns. And honestly, you wake up, you feel groggy or unproductive. I just didn't want to get out of bed. For some people, I know it can be the opposite. They have interrupted sleeps. They just don't sleep enough when they're dealing with depression. For me, I just wanted to sleep, no matter what. Winter is the hardest because I do suffer from SAD, which is the seasonal affective disorder. So when it was darker and, it would get dark super early, like sometimes for me just the darkness at night will trigger the depressive symptoms. It will make me really sad just to have that light go away, and I feel kind of cold and alone. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. So during the winter here in Montreal, all the snow and the cold, oh my god, it's brutal. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if 9 out of 10 people suffered from this as well and didn't even know it. So that is one thing that really got to me. I've also had some physical symptoms. When I get really, really low, I'll get some stomach aches. I'll get actual aches in my joints, things like that. Just to throw in that stretching really does help. If you can do a really good stretching morning or nighttime routine and really take care of your body in that way, it will definitely help, because I would get a lot of tension in my lower back. I just feel all cramped up, almost like I'm in a permanent fetal position, I guess. So I would just feel like uncomfortable and having those physical pains. That was another big factor for me. A lot of mood swings. So I was on actually birth control for a while, and maybe I'll open up about that in another video. If you guys would like that, let me know. And it was just like my hormones were already delicate enough, and it just threw me over the edge. So I decided to get off of it because my mood swings were just like day and night. It's the kind of thing where I'm going to make a Harry Potter reference here, that I'd be like, okay, I'd be in a good mood, but in Harry Potter, there's things called dementors, and when they go over or near you, you just feel this overwhelming cold throughout your whole body. With depression, it's like I just felt sadness just like take over me, literally. There's sometimes I'd be feeling fine, and then my mood would switch. And that's terrifying. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that. It's like you're going about, you're good, and then all of a sudden, switch, It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's really scary stuff. And I do not like that, so I try very hard to keep my mood stable during the day with proper nutrition, and really just tuning into myself and realizing when that happens so that I can better deal with it, instead of just kind of going with the flow and not really knowing what to expect. So depression also made me, I guess, a little more introverted, since I wanted to stay in so much. So I think it was actually my depression that led to the social anxiety issues, or at least brought them out more, because I just wanted to stay inside. I would make plans with people, but I wasn't really excited, even though I love these people. It's just like I couldn't bring myself sometimes to just, get dressed. And like they often say things about personal hygiene and like depression, and the fact that you don't feel like showering and getting ready and stuff. And I've definitely had those low points where, I didn't shower for a couple days. I didn't feel like going around doing anything. Except the weird thing with me is when I do go out, I want to look presentable. I want to wear makeup and stuff, where some other people with depression just won't bother. But for me, I feel more judged if I don't. So I guess that's the social anxiety. So having the two together is really scary sometimes, because it really feels like it limits me in some ways. Of course, I'm trying my best to work through it, and I think I've been doing really great. Like, maybe sometime I'll tell you guys about the low points of this whole experience. But for the most part, I've been on an upwards trend. I believe I know I've done a lot to help myself have become a lot stronger. But I just want to explain what it does feel like when it hits me. Just like, bouts of crying and not being able to stop. Even when you don't know why you're sad, it just takes over you and you just start bawling. And I think part of my depression might even be hormonal, because I was getting like this rash in my neck, and there's still some remnants there. Could have also had to do with the birth control, and kind of comes and goes, and it just sucks. It feels like my hormones are like all out of whack. But the last thing I want to do is turn to medication, because anyways, birth control is supposed to even all those things out, and this kind of just did the opposite, I suppose. So yeah, that's my experience with that. If any of you guys can relate, please write to me, let me know, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will keep updating you guys on my journey. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.